Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are previewing the 2014 Stanley Cup Finals right now with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com, who's done a lot of great videos with us, had a very profitable year this year, and he tells me as well in the NHL playoffs. Joe, thanks for being back with us.
Thank you, Peter.
All right, right now we're going to get to Game 1, the Game 1 lines between the Rangers and the Kings. We just got finished discussing the series odds. Before we do, brag a little bit about OffshoreInsiders.com. Specifically, tell us how you've been doing in baseball.
Yeah, we've been doing very well in baseball with underdogs and small favorites. A little streakier this year than we'd like, but still, at the end of the day, we are winning money. And with our underdogs and small favorites, we have a lot of days where we'll split, but we'll actually win because we have a lot more underdogs than we do pick chalks. And again, we just yesterday celebrated my 26th anniversary of my picks being public, going back to the score phone days.
Nice, awesome. All right, Joe Duffy, you gave the opinion that you thought that the Rangers at plus 150 was a side with value in this series, and we did mention how they are coming into Game 1 off of 3 extra days of rest. The Kings just recently went to 7 games with Chicago, and the Game 1 lines, it's at LA, is the Kings minus 150, Rangers plus 138. The total is relatively low at 5. The under at Pinnacle is minus 111. The over is plus 103, and just because you like the Rangers in the series doesn't necessarily mean you'd like them in Game 1 here at just plus 138. What do you think, Joe?
No, but I do like him in Game 1.
Okay.
I do think that we can overanalyze that the 3 extra days rest, how much it's going to be, but they're going to still be more mentally and physically rested. And as I pointed up in the last video, the Rangers really in the first 2 rounds, they had some tough luck because of some scheduling where they played back-to-back in both the first round and the second round, and the one series where they actually entered with a rest advantage was against Montreal. They won it in 6. So, yes, the Kings have played 3 grueling 7-game series. They've played the more physical series, maybe the more mentally draining. You could see how the Rangers would come out a little bit sharper. And keep in mind, the Rangers have been tremendous on the road. And they also, when you look at their overall record, they started out because the Madison Square Garden was being renovated, they played like 11 straight road games or something like that early on in the year. But the Rangers, since I think it was mid-December, had the second best record in the NHL, or I think there was some point where they actually had the best record. So this isn't much of a fluke, and they've been tremendous on the road. Maybe the fact the Madison Square Garden made them have to make some tough road trips early on in the year is really paying off now. I see the Rangers picking up the upset in Game 1.
All right, then what's your take on the total? The total is relatively low considering how explosively high scoring the Kings series with Chicago went. It's 5, and the over is just plus 103. But then again, the Rangers have kind of played low-scoring games this series. The series against Pitt, which if any series is going to be high-scoring, that would be it. That actually went 2-4-1 over/under. So 4 out of those 7 games went under, and 1 was a push. So the Rangers might not match the offensive intensity that Chicago brought. What would you do if you had to play the total here?
I would lean towards the over, and really this is pertinent to what I was saying about the sides. Jonathan Quick, he's had some spectacular games, and he's had some games where he's looked like he was a third-string goalie. They talk about him being 7-0 in elimination games this year, but you got to do the math. The series have gone 7 games, so that means he's 5-9 in non-elimination games, and he's given up some soft goals. And the truth is, he gave up some soft goals in that Game 7 victory. It was quite the high-scoring game, but the Kings, conversely, they can score. All 4 of their centers are tremendous scorers. They can score with all their lines. The Rangers' third line has been very good offensively. So, yeah, I can definitely see with both of these teams having very good offense, and the fact that Jonathan Quick, usually you would think if the Kings got here that he's been their best player. He really hasn't been their best player, and I can see the Rangers getting some quick goals. And the fact is, if LA wants to open it up, they've got the ability to do that. They've got some scoring. So I would say the over would be the play.
All right, great points as always, Joe Duffy. So your leads for Game 1 are the Rangers at plus 138 and the over 5 at plus 103?
Yes, sir. That is correct, Peter.
All right. Thanks so much, Joe Duffy. We'll be covering this series with you game by game. Thanks so much. Talk to you again.
All right. Thank you.